Welcome back to our channel, friends. This is Sonia here from Growing Craft. Thank you so much for dropping in. Now, before we start this video, please do make sure that you subscribe to our channel and do not forget to hit the bell icon so that you do not miss out any of our updates. Also, do check our website www.growingcraft.com and let's get started. So today we are going to make a beautiful nameplate in the theme of sunflower and some nice bright color. So this was the napkin which I was asked to use, and yes, this looks absolutely beautiful and gorgeous. Now as you see that I have already prepped up my base of my nameplate, so I really do not need to do anything on that right now. So here what I'm doing is I'm just doing my brush water technique. This is one of the easiest and one of the best techniques what you can use to just remove the excessive parts of your napkin, and here I am doing the same. Now when I took up this napkin, I thought that the base color is white, but when I applied this on my base, later on you will see that it is not pure white, so that you can see the grace portion of the paper. So yeah, this was the thing which I realized after doing my cutting work. Now with my fingers I am just pressing it down so that I know that exactly part I am going to stick. Now for sticking this, I am going to use my Mod Podge. That is one of the favorite thing what I love using during my decoupage artwork and even during my mixed media art. Now here with my Anukul brush, I am spreading this very nicely on one of the areas where I am going to have my napkin. If you don't have Mod Podge, you can even make your own decoupage glue. Of course there is going to be a difference, but it works pretty well. So I'm sharing all those links in the description box. Do check that. Now with my fingers I'm just going to press my napkin, and trust me, this is so relaxing, so soothing when you create something beautiful, something amazing, and something super easy and super breathtaking. So yes, here is one of the biggest blunders. So when I applied my napkin, I was not very convinced because I could feel that there is something which is not good, and after almost sticking up my napkin I realized that I had not removed the plies of this napkin. So what I had to do was just quickly take it back, remove the plies, and stick my final decoupage napkin on the top of my nameplate. So yes, these are the mistakes which I always do. If not this, then some other mistakes. So yeah, it's not, many of you ask me that I do decoupage so nicely, mixed media so nicely, I do not do any mistakes. So no, with almost all my projects I do some of the other mistakes, but I'm still learning and I try to overcome all my mistakes for sure. So now here I'm using my sponge topper to stick my napkin, and I hope that now this sticks well, because when you have plies which you have not removed from your tissues, and if you stick it, you can easily make it out because it is going to be a little thicker, and also you are going to see bubbles and wrinkles a lot. So that's the reason you should make sure that you remove the plies, as many plies as you can remove. So you're just removing the excessive paper, and this is looking nice. So with my sponge topper, whenever I just press it, it removes all the wrinkles and the bubbles, and this looks absolutely gorgeous. Now the ideal situation is to let it dry for one complete day and then move on to the Mod Podge part. But here of course when I have to do something on orders or on these things, I use my heat gun so that it speeds up my drying process, and it really saves a lot of time. So here I am done with my drying process. Now I know that I have to use a sandpaper to scrape off all the excessive papers from the sides. If you don't have the sandpaper, you can see other tools which I use on my previous decoupage projects. That will give you a fair idea that what other tools you can use for this one. Now this is super easy, and once again I'll repeat this process. Whenever you are sanding up your excessive paper, your decoupage papers or your napkins, from your base to your decoupage, from your decoupage napkins to your base, this is how it should be, and just press it very gently because anyways they are so delicate that they come out really fast. So now this looks so neat, so beautiful, so plain and so nice. Now here I have to use my carbon, and of course I need to paint my name. So, and I'm not very good at my freehand lettering. That's why what I'm doing is I am going to trace this on my nameplate. Now this is one of a very good techniques. Either you can use a darker shade or tracing papers or the light ones. I prefer using the light ones because they are much more easier to remove all the stains. Now with my black acrylic paint, I'm going to paint my complete name. Now honestly, this took me almost 25 to 30 minutes just to paint the names nicely on my plate, and this is one of the best part which I love doing. So yeah, this has been actually edited so well that you are seeing this in a very short span of time. It's not even the 1 minute that you are seeing this painting video, but it took almost 20-25 minutes for me to paint the names on the boards, and then you have to let it dry for one complete day. This is a must task, otherwise your acrylic paints are going to bleed, which we do not want. So now this is day 2 and it's time to add up my varnish. So as I use water based varnish, so that's the reason I try to let my nameplate dry for at least one complete day or at least 12 hours, and then only use my water based varnish. So it's time to add up some texture to this. So of course for this I'm going to use my modeling paste. I am absolutely in awe with the Mont Marte modeling paste. Those have been my favorite since long, and thanks to Nagashi Arts for introducing me to Mont Marte modeling paste, because they were the ones who really convinced me to use this one, and I absolutely love. Now here I'm going to make sure that I can cover the maximum parts of my frame. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try out how and where I can fit my stencil and have my texture pass. Now of course if I am doing my texture work, it is going to overlap on my napkin and on the names what I have printed, but then it's absolutely fine, because when they are wet you can remove that, and if required you can always overpaint them, and of course the textures will be there, but then it's absolutely fine. Now here I'm doing this technique with a palette knife, and this is a way more easier, and the palette knife actually gives a very good coverage, and you can do a lot more portions in a very small span of time. And the number of times you less rub your palette knives or the tools what you're using, that's the best way of applying your modeling paste. Now on edges, wherever I have the white portions of my around my flowers, I'm going to just tap my excessive modeling paste. This is just to give a little more texture on the sides and the corners, and this is going to look really fab when it's dry out. Now for drying this out, I'm going to let it dry for good like 5 to 6 hours. So yes, making a nameplate is a very long process, but then it's absolutely pleasure to make one. Now it's time to let this dry completely, and this looks beautiful. Now after almost 6 to 7 hours, my paste has dried out, and here I'm using my varnish. So yes, in a way you can say that I'm so addicted to varnish that I use it, I think, after almost all my layers. This is just to make sure that they do not bleed, and they have a good surface to work on. And especially when I'm working with my modeling paste, I try to be a little more protective about them, because of course if it's a nameplate, it's going to be outside your home with a little more exposure to the dust and the humid and temperature. So of course to manage that, we need to seal it really well as much as possible. So here I'm using my heat gun to dry it out. And next thing is, after my varnish has dried out, is to have my wax color. So here I have taken up a green color. So whenever we are working on the modeling paste, there are so many layers that has to go. Now here one more reason why I wanted to add my varnish was because I did not wanted my texture paste to have the colors. Now I'm not very sure if this is so good visible to you on the cameras. Now here if you see on the upper part and the bottom part, wherever I'm doing my modeling paste, my texture work is not soaking up the color at all. That is just because of my varnish work. So this is just to highlight the definitions and the texture on my nameplate. And once I'm happy with this, then I'm going to move on to the next step, where I'm going to add on some colors. Now I personally prefer to have the wax colors because they are so good to highlight any kind of your projects. Now if you don't have the wax colors, you can always go and look out for some different mediums like your acrylic paints, your chalk paints, but you will have to be very careful on how you want it to be and how it is going to be after your finished project. So here I just wanted to add a tinge of pink. Now this is too much of pink, and just to make sure that I remove all the excessive ones, whenever I do these color mediums, I make sure that I have a napkin or a tissue paper or a kitchen towel handy so that I can remove all the excessive colors. Now of course I did not wanted this to be in yellow color, and this is just to highlight a tinge of pink on the edges and the corners, and of course near my textured area. So I'm just trying to highlight this one only. So yeah, now this looks great, this looks absolutely beautiful, and now it's time to move on to the next step. But yes, before that we need to make sure that we seal this up properly. So off camera, of course, I did a little more of my varnish work. So now again, after 2 hours, now it's time to add some more pink shade to it. So here I'm just adding up little more pink shade on the edges. This is just to give a nice border and highlight my nameplate edges. That's it. If you don't want a pink color, you can use any other mediums. And now for this process, I love doing this with my bare fingers because it gives a so nice, so natural rustic effect to it. So here I am using a chalk paint. If you don't have a chalk paint, you can try it out with the acrylic paints, but the matte and the glossy finish of both the colors make a huge difference in the look and feel. So yeah, many a times I've been asked, can we use acrylic colors instead of chalk paints? Can we use chalk paints instead of acrylic colors? You can do that, but then again the look and feel is going to be different. So here again I'm highlighting a little more my texture work with the same chalk paints, and as you can see, it's looking absolutely beautiful and gorgeous. Now just dabbing this with my fingers and it's done. It's time to add on my favorite fillers, and that's stamping. So here what I'm doing is I am just stamping my base with my script stamp and my permanent ink pad, and this is super easy and super best way to fill up your nameplates or any of your frames and mediums. This really pretty covers up the maximum areas and all the empty spaces of your artwork. Now it's time to color up my base. So here what I'm doing is I'm going to have my varnish and my glitter. Now this is the glitter from Growing Craft. I'm sharing down all the supplies linked down in the description box. Do check that. So here I'm going to have my 1 coat of varnish. Now my chalk paint has not dried out quickly, so what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to use my heat gun to dry this, and on the second hand I'm trying to mix up my glitter with my varnish, and this is going to add up one more seal of my project. So very quickly I will just apply my seal of varnish with the glitter, and this has to be the layer after which you are going to have at least 2 layers of varnish to seal up your glitters very well to your base. So yes, in person this looks absolutely beautiful and gorgeous. The yellow color glitter is definitely adding some more charms here. Now it's time to color up the border, and for coloring up my border I have picked up the brown color. I just felt that this is going to be just perfect for my project. Now here I am going to do this on complete around my frame, and I'll be just showing this in a very quick speedy space so that you can know that how I did it, but it took me a good 5 to 10 minutes to cover up the complete size of this nameplate. So yeah, this looks absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. And yes, one more thing, at the end of the project I will realize that I had missed out on the flat number, so which I did off camera, that you will see in the pictures later on. The process was same, and yes, of course I definitely sealed everything 2 to 3 times again with the varnishes, just to make sure that it stays really well. So yeah, I'm just brushing up my brown color on my project, and this is done. So yes, thank you so much for watching. Just in case if you guys have any query, let me know in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to help you all. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.